if we never don't know someone's gotta change. You watch the riders you watch if we never riders someone's gotta change.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to Drive Talk Cars. If you've been here before, thanks for coming back. And if this is your first time, welcome to the channel. And if you haven't done so already, please click that subscription button down below and click that notification bell. That way when I post a new video, I make sure I send one your way. So let's get into today's video. So what we're gonna be doing is painting the airbox, filter, covers, as well as this portion of the engine cover. What I might do, I might actually take this off and have that exposed and just have these two red. It's not a real difficult task, something that you can do to any car. So make sure you have the right paint for your vehicle if it is a different material as far as metal or anything like that. Like I said, mine is plastic, so I'll be using a paint that is good on the plastic. So on my Drive Talk Car meter of difficulty for this particular task, I would give it probably a 2. All right, so you will have to remove the airbox covers as well as the engine cover. If you haven't done that already, I do have a video and I'll post it right here, or I'll post a link in the description down below, and you can click on that and check that out to see how to go about removing your airbox covers. It's made for the E63 AMG, so if you do have E63 AMG, then you can go out and check that out. So let's go on and talk about the products and the tools we need to prep for our painting. So here are the products that we're going to use to prep and paint our engine covers. So I have the greaser here. That's used to take off all the grit and grime and any oil that may be on the plastic pieces. Paper towel, of course, to wipe that down because you want to make sure that it's dry. Plastic gloves, tack cloth. This is used to cover up anything you don't want to paint. Sand, that's to prep it. You want to sand it so you can get a little bit of texture to the plastic. That way the paint will adhere to it a lot better. The paint I chose was a paint made for plastic. It is not made for high temp, however, but I did read a few comments on different forums and I saw that a lot of people have used this particular product with no problems, no cracking, no bubbling up, pilling, any of that. And it's been on their cars for years. So I'm gonna try that. I mean, the worst that could happen is that it fails and then I have to do it again, but that's okay. And if it does work, then you guys can go ahead and use that product and you can save a little bit of money. So we're gonna see what it does. I have some 2x4 here. This is to prop the covers off of the ground. That way I can just spray all the way around, get an even thorough coating, and I'll show you that later. So these are what you need for your prep and your painting. So let's get started. All right. So now that we have the parts off, we're going to start by cleaning them off with the degreaser. Let it sit for a little bit, then I'm going to wipe it off. All right, now that I've finished degreasing it, I'm going to take my sand block and just go over it lightly. By the way, this is a 220 grit sand block. All right, let's spray it again. Get off all of that dust from sanding. You want to make sure you get all of the indentions, curves, all that. Make sure there's nothing that's collected in those little crevices. All right, I got a tack cloth here. If you don't know what a tack cloth is, it is a cloth that is real sticky and it gets all of the little things that you can't see. All the little lint from paper towel, even from microfiber. So let's set up our boards. All right, we'll give the can a good shake for about a minute. Make sure you get all the oils and paint mixed up in there. Put my gloves on so I don't get any paint on my hands. I recommend using a timer because you're probably gonna stop just short of a minute if you do it without timing it. All right, 1 minute. All right, let's go over it one more time with the tack cloth since it's been sitting for a little bit. All right. Oh, I forgot to show you this earlier, but it's optional, you don't have to have it, but it's a little trigger that attaches to the spray can. That way you can kind of get more of a, I don't know, even flow, easier flow. So that goes on like that. Just want to make sure your sprayer is facing out. Another thing is, when you go to paint, you want to start off the surface, go across, and stop off the surface. You never want to start or stop on here. That creates a buildup and it'll start to run or pull up. You don't want that. Also, I usually do a little test spray off just to make sure everything's going. So the first coat is going to be not heavy, just kind of your tack coat. You give enough to go over and then let it sit. All right, that should be enough for the first coat. So as you can see here, it's a light dusting. Not trying to give it full coverage, just trying to give it something to tack onto. That's been about a minute. Let's go back and hit it with another coat. All right, so that's our second coat. We're gonna wait a minute. Still looks a little uneven at first, but it will get there on your probably third, fourth coat. All right, minute's up, so here's our next coat. So we've done 3 coats so far. I think this is going to be my last coat, coat number 4, and then we're going to move on to the air boxes. All right, let's set our minute timer and we should be ready to go. All right, coat 4. Looking pretty good if you ask me. All right, now that we have laid our final coat, we're gonna take 10 minutes to let it dry. And per the can, it's supposed to dry in 10 minutes, but it'll be longer than 10 minutes before I actually put it back on the car, just to make sure everything is good. So wait the 10 minutes and then we're gonna move on to the air box. All right, 10 minutes is up, so we're gonna move it to the drying area, which is just the other side of the garage. Let it dry some more. All right, so let's go ahead and prep the air box. Let's spray down with the degreaser. Let's sit on there for a little bit. So now this one got a little, this one has the letters, so I have to make sure that I get up in between those letters to make sure there's nothing on there. Spray again. All right, now that we have it all prepped, degreased sand. I'm gonna tape off a carbon filter here in this opening here, just to not get any spray in there or paint. All right, so here we go. So this has two sides. So I'm probably going to do it like this at first. Once this dry, flip it over and hit it up underneath here. Another way you can do it is if you had a way to suspend it, you can get all the angles that way. I don't, so we hit it like this first, and then flip it over and do the other side. All right, guys, there you have it. I finished painting the engine cover, the airbox covers, and it came out pretty good. This is the texture that I wanted because the plastic was already that texture, so it was a little easier. I think some paint, you call it a ripple finish or ripple texture type paint, but I didn't have that. It was just regular paint. So, but if you don't have a cover that has that effect already, then you can get the ripple paint. So I finished it and I did paint all the covers. However, it's a little issue. This one is a little brighter because I did 4 coats on this one and I did 3 coats on the other one. The 3 coat is actually a better color that I actually like. So I don't know if I'm gonna even use this piece. I kinda like it with just the airbox covers being red and not even having this cover on there. But I don't know. Comment below, let me know what you think. Should I put it on even though it's a little bit brighter than the other 2, or should I just keep it off and kind of give it this look here? Also, the AMG on top of the air boxes, I was thinking about painting them either white or black, or maybe just leave them like that, or even sand them down back to the original gray color that it was, and then that'll just be silver and red. I don't know. Comment below and let me know what you think about this and what you think I should do with painting in the AMG, or should I just leave it alone? For now, that's what we have, and it came out really, really good. So we're gonna see if using non-high temp paint is going to affect it or not. If it does, I'll update you guys in later videos. You probably should go ahead and hit that subscription button and click the notification bell. That way you can find out if the paint held up or not. Once again, thank you for checking out my video. I'll see you on the next one. I'm out.